there is one thing on this planet that is universally proven to make a person feel better, it is lifting weights. I live and breathe weightlifting and want to share that passion with every possible person that I meet. The universal best lift there is for a person's health and well-being is called the clean. The clean is a very complex lift, but with great teaching and clear visuals, anyone can do a clean and become entranced by the rush that it gives and the feeling that it gives to your body. It's not an easy thing to do, but with time and practice, I have become very fluid in all the motions. There is nothing that makes me feel more alive than being in this weight room. With proper progressions, technique, and quality coaching, you too can share in this uplifting and gratifying experience, all of which will be shared and taught to you very shortly. I hope you all go out and give this a try and better your life and health all at the same time. We're going to start with the 3 basic positions of the clean. So there's the pull, there's the shrug, and there's the catch. So the pull starts with your starting position. So I have Bryce here, he's going to be my demo for you all. So Bryce, get into a good starting position. Notice how his feet are a little bit more than shoulder width apart. His hands are a little bit more than shoulder width apart, and his butt is down. And notice how his chest is over the bar as well. So stand up, Bryce. Give me one more good starting position. That's where you should start every time before you start the clean. Now, to start with good form, you have this starting position, and we're going to do what's called a clean pull. So Bryce is going to do a quick demo of what a clean pull is. Do one clean pull. Bring it down. Do one more slow one. And come down. Notice how the bar hits right on his hip, and then he goes on his toes. That's called the power position. When the bar is in the hip, it's called the power position. So Bryce, give us one more clean pull. And down. That's the start of the clean. So it's a deadlift from the floor into the clean pull position. The next position that you got to get into for a clean is called the shrug. So you start off with that clean pull, and you shrug your shoulders and bring the bar up. So Bryce is going to demo that right now as well. Good starting position, and go. There's the clean pull. Now do a high pull. Notice how the bar comes straight up. It doesn't swing out, but it comes straight up. So you started with the clean pull, and then he went straight into the high pull. So do one more high pull. Nice, back down. Those are the first 2 positions of the clean. The last one to complete the positions is called the catch. Now the catch is a bit trickier. The catch is where you catch the bar in front of you after the high pull. So Bryce, give us one demo of a power clean. Notice when he caught the bar, it was on his shoulder shelf and the bar rolled on his fingers. Bring the bar down. He shot his elbows through, kind of like a front squat, and the bar landed on his fingertips on his shoulder shelf. So Bryce, give us one more power clean. And down. Notice how when he started, he was in that good position, and he went straight from the ground into the clean pull, then into the shrug, then into the catch. All 3 positions moved fluently with each other, and that's what's called a power clean. So Bryce, give us one more example of a power clean. Very nice. So now another variation of it is called the squat clean. The power clean, you catch it and your knees are above parallel. So that means they're above 90 degrees. And a squat clean, you catch it at the very bottom. So Bryce, give us an example of a squat clean. Perfect. So we transitioned from a good start into a clean pull, into a high pull, and then into a power clean. And then straight after that, if you squat it, it is called a squat clean. Now that you all know the proper form on how to complete the clean, here are some very beginner progressions so that you will know what to do when you first start out. So the first one, all we call is the clean progression. So I'll call the positions. It involves the clean pull, like I just showed you, the high pull, and then a power clean and a squat clean. So Bryce, let's start the clean progression. Clean pull, and down.
High pull, and down. Power clean, and down. Now squat clean. That's the first clean progression, and that's what you do when you're just warming up. Now the next progression we have is actually two progressions. Here at Humboldt State, we call it the bend progression because Coach Ben told us about it and runs it for us. But in the Olympic lifting world, it's called the top-down progression. So in this one, it really emphasizes beginner lifters to get their positions right. So that starting position I was telling you about, the hip position, and the power position all in one. So Bryce, me and Bryce are going to take you through a bend progression or a top-down progression. So deadlift the bar. Now power position. Notice how the power position is right where your arms are hanging and right where you would explode from. Clean. Back down to the power position. So now power position, below the knee, power position, clean. Here's the final one. Power position, below the knee, down to the floor, back to the knee, power position, squat clean. Down to the floor. So that was the first bend progression. That one works only the positions without moving. So this next one, we're going to start moving the bar into the power position so you can get that exploding motion, and that's where your power is going to come from. So here's the second bend progression, or the second top-down progression. Deadlift the bar, power position, below the knee, slow to the power position and clean, back down to the power position, below to the knee, down to the floor, back to the knee, slow to the power position and clean. Power position, below the knee, down to the floor, full squat clean, and down to the floor. That second bend progression puts all the movements together into what a full clean looks like. So the last position that Bryce just did, a clean from the floor, is what the clean fully looks like. So Bryce, give us one more full squat clean. Very nice. Notice how he hit every position coming up. So he hit that power position right when he got to the top and then exploded down into the squat. The second to last progression that we have is called the James Bain progression. James Bain is a famous Olympic weightlifter, and that is who this progression is named after. So Bryce, if I can get you to come in, we'll have to do the second to last progression. So the Bain progression starts with a clean pull. So what Bryce did at the beginning, he did a clean pull, and that's what it starts with. Then it goes down below the knee slowly for a quick pause, and then a power clean. Down to the floor. That was the first part. There's one more part. So the second part, you start with a clean pull, down below the knee again, and right into a squat clean. This is really good for beginners trying to get their starting positions right, and especially when they're trying to get in the power position so they can explode into the catch. So Bryce, give us one more squat clean Bain progression. Clean pull, explode from the hip. That's called the James Bain progression. The final progression that we have today is called the pause clean. A pause clean is where you start from the floor and you start the clean pull, but instead of going all the way up, you pause right above the knee, and that's going to cause you to keep your shoulders over the bar and stay in place and then explode into the catch. So Bryce, if you want to demonstrate for us. Go, pause above the knee, and go. The first one was a power clean. On the second one, we do a squat clean. Pause above the knee, and go. And down. Notice how Bryce's shoulders were over the bar the entire time. That's going to cause you to push from your legs instead of your lower back. If you push from your lower back, it can cause it to be strained and even thrown out of place. So it's very important that your shoulders are over the bar and your core is tight So that way your legs are doing the work, and that will keep you from injury. So Bryce, let's do one more set of those. Focus on his shoulders right here. So above the knee. Go. Perfect. One more squat clean. Pause, squat clean. Now it's very important that you do all these progressions with the form that we've showed you. Shoulders over the knees, the good clean pull, the good shrug, and the good catch. And going from your legs and not your lower back. If you go from your lower back and anything but your legs, it's going to really strain you and it could even injure you. So it's very important that you do what we showed you with the shoulders, most importantly, and then going from the legs and not the lower back. So that was the final progression. Bryce, thank you very much.
Today we've learned the clean. The three portions of it are the pull, the shrug, and the catch. And you've also learned some progressions. So we went over the clean progression, which combines all three of those movements, and a power clean and a squat clean. We did the bane progression, we did the pause clean progression, and we did the bend progressions, or the top-down progression. Now, I cannot emphasize enough the amount of safety that is needed to do these lifts. You can seriously injure yourself or even those around you if you don't do them safely and keep good position for your body. It's a huge passion of mine, not only this lift, but fitness in general. And I'm really trying to pass that on to people I meet and every person that will watch this video. And I really, really want you to try and do this lift. And I know it's not easy when you start out, but the benefits will be astounding. I really encourage you all to go to a platform and see just how the clean and fitness in general can change your lives, just as it's changed mine.